From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. West Texas, close to the Rio Grande, fall 1877. Harsh, relentless land of the pioneer, land that was still to be tamed. And land, too, of the 4th United States Cavalry, under the command of Colonel Ranald Slidell Mackenzie. The secret orders had been simple. Enter Chuma Valley, encounter and apprehend James Bueland Harkis.
The raiders are ready, Colonel.
Good. I want you to circle around behind Harkis and his men through the Medicine Wells area. And we'll have him in a vise. I'll give you an hour and a half to get in position. Then we'll move in from the other side.
Yes, sir, I understand.
The plan had been simple. 2 units of Mackenzie's raiders would attack simultaneously from opposite sides. But again, Harkis had been alerted. He was escaping. Too far away to be of assistance were the other raiders. It was left to Mackenzie to complete the capture. To do this meant crossing the Rio Grande and violating Mexican sovereignty, for it was in Mexico Harkis sought his escape. It was there he believed he was safe from pursuit. It was there, scant hours later, he was being tracked to earth. For months, Harkis and his men had terrorized the settlers of Chuma Valley. For months, they had been free to rob and pillage.
Come on, man, let's go.
Mackenzie's relentless pursuit gave Harkis no choice but to make a stand. So death came to these men of Fort Clark. The report of a Federalist patrol sent Harkis and his men back across the Rio Grande to safety. But fate had decreed that Ranald Mackenzie would survive this carnage to fight again. Sorely wounded but alive, Mackenzie faced the terrible problems ahead. Miles of trackless waste lay before him. The danger of discovery by Mexican soldiers existed. And once the great river was crossed, there was Chuma Valley, Harkis's domain. But find his other patrol he must. Then one man, Harkis, must be made to pay.
Where is he?
It's Harkis. He wants to talk to you.
You can tell your friends it didn't work.
I didn't have nothing to do with it, Mr. Harkis.
But you knew about it, and you didn't say anything.
Mr. Harkis, please.
You made your choice. You stick with it.
I didn't make any choice. Nobody told me nothing. I just thought it was talk.
Well, this ain't just talk. You tell him from me that Mackenzie and his soldiers are dead. I'm back in Chuma Valley, back to stay. Everything is just as it was, and if you and your friends don't like it, you can move out. Your land won't be vacant long.
Please, Mr. Harkis, I didn't have anything to do with the soldiers coming. Sully, don't look at me like that. What was I supposed to have done? What can one man do against him?
Light the lamp, Clee. It'll be dark soon.
I need help. Please help me.
Soldier,
I'm hurt. And I'm tired.
it ain't safe here. I can't help you. Please, go away. For your own sake, go away.
I need help.
There's no help here for anyone.
He's an officer. Maybe Mackenzie herself.
Mackenzie's dead. Harkis said so.
But don't you see, no matter who it is, if I tell Harkis...
But you wouldn't tell Harkis. He...
You just relax, soldier. I'm going to fetch a doctor. Be back directly, soldier.
Get out. Get out while there's still time.
No. Doctor's coming.
There is no doctor in Chuma Valley. Do you understand? He's gone back to get Harkis. He's gone to bring Harkis back to kill you. He figures he can save our land by turning you over to him. Please, please, there's nothing you can do. Just go and hurry.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry. He's gone.
Was it Mackenzie?
I don't know.
We'll find him. He can't have gone far.
You won't need this here.
My name is Mackenzie.
Yes? And my name is Albert Penn.
You don't seem to understand. Somebody's looking for me.
I do understand. That's the way in this land. The hunter and the hunted.
But in this case, the hunter is James Buland Harkis.
Who else in Chuma Valley?
You're not afraid of him?
Very much. But I'm an old man, and I've learned to live with many things. I can live with fear.
If I can get this shoulder fixed, I've got a patrol somewhere in this valley.
It'll take a steadier hand than I have to fix that shoulder.
Have you seen a cavalry patrol?
At least the bleeding stopped. No, I haven't seen them. But John Leonard said he saw some shoulders this morning, a few miles east of here.
There's another cavalry post within miles. They must be from Fort Clark. I've got to find them.
In your condition? In the dark?
That bullet scraping against the bone. It's got to come out.
And soon.
Right now. Get a knife.
I told you I can't do it, son. It's not fear this time, but age. If I dug for that piece of lead, you might never use that arm again.
Get a knife. I'll dig it out myself.
That's for storybooks. No man could.
Harkis?
Who else at this hour? Come. Through the woods. You may be able to lose him that way. Come right in, Mr. Harker.
You're up kind of late, aren't you, Penn?
Establishing a curfew?
You been alone all night?
Most of the time. I was over at Leonard's earlier.
I don't like to play games, Penn. Has anybody been here?
Nobody.
Well, then you don't mind if we look around. Been alone all night, huh? Since one of you started carrying a cavalry pistol. You're lucky, old man, your days are numbered. Or else I'd kill you right now.
Morning in Chuma Valley, country of the oppressed. Mackenzie fought to escape the relentless pursuit of James Buland Harkis. To live, he had to find his patrol or friends willing to face the brutal wrath of the man who ruled this valley.
Don't turn around or I'll shoot. Now, drop the rifle. Now walk ahead, slowly. All right, stop right there.
Mister, you picked the poorest man in Chuma Valley to rob.
Turn around.
Well, now, isn't that clever of you?
I'm not dead yet. I'm a long way from dead.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
I hope you'll be just as happy when you're swinging at the end of a rope.
Mister, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and Harkus and all the rest of that gang.
Oh, well, now, two things. One, I ain't one of Harkus' men. And two, that gun ain't loaded. Spent my last shell on a deer. Missed him, too. Hey, I hope you don't feel as bad as you look.
If I look as bad as I feel, you better start digging a hole.
Well, here, come on. Keeps cool down the well. How you feeling?
I don't know yet.
There.
Guess I'm supposed to say I needed that.
Well, I can't speak for you, Colonel, but I know that I sure do. You know, my ma'd be right proud of me now. Always wanted I should be a doctor.
Offhand, I'd say you made a pretty fair one.
I'd say we both been pretty lucky.
You ever done anything like this before?
Yeah, once, during the war. Operated on my horse. He lived, though.
That's reassuring.
All fooling aside, though, Colonel, about this lost patrol of yours, how you reckon to go about finding them?
I was in hopes they'd find me.
Well, if Harkus don't find you first.
Harkus has had several chances now. He's missed every one of them.
Harkus needs not to miss just once.
I've got to find that patrol.
You wouldn't get 2 miles, Colonel, without that shoulder of yours bleeding like a stuck hog.
I was figuring maybe you might help me. Why not? It's your fight, too.
I had me a part of the big fight, Colonel. When I got out of that, the only thing I had was a pair of butternut jeans and that gray jacket you're wearing. Now, that was 12 years ago. But it taught me one thing. When you got next to nothing, it don't hurt if you're going to lose it. Harkus can have my land. I'm all through fighting.
But don't you realize that if just a handful, just a dozen of you men would stand together against Harkus, you could drive him and his kind out of Chuma Valley?
Colonel, did you know that in one of the Apache dialects, the word Chuma means coward?
There aren't too many places left. You two head north. Check the Brownfield Ranch and Jay Lawrence's farm. If you don't find that soldier in 3 hours, meet me at Chad Carlin's.
Look at me, Sully.
Mackenzie's very presence in Chuma Valley was bringing courage back to its people. There was still a chance, with their aid, to end the terror of James Harkus.
Then why'd you help me at all? Why'd you take the chance on Harkus finding me here?
Colonel, remember I said get next to nothing? Well, I'm in it. It ain't worth it. But you gotta have some place to bed down. This here's as good as any. If you and them soldiers can get rid of Harkus, that's fine with me.
Oh, I see. And I couldn't have done that lying out there in those woods.
Something like that. No use saying what you're thinking, Colonel. It's been 12 years, and it's all being said before.
I'm sure it has. I'm just wondering what you'd do right now if Harkus rode up.
It's been 12 years, Colonel.
that door real easy. If it is Harkis, step back. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
I've ridden half the valley looking for Harkis. Chad, you've got to help me. Colonel Mackenzie was at my place. Thank heavens you're alive. You'll help us, won't you?
How many shells you got for this rifle?
Only 3, I think. Yep.
Load it. 1 shotgun, 1 rifle, and 3 shells. We wouldn't have a chance. Get a horse saddled. Come on, come on. We've got to find my troops.
I've been waiting for you, Harkis. I saw you heading this way from the ridge. Why did you hit Sully?
I can't see Harkis. He's around the other side of the house.
Put that gun down and go home, Tolman.
I won't. I'm gonna kill you.
Go inside and get Carl.
Let him come in. I'll keep him covered. You get his weapon.
You made a mistake, Chad. Mackenzie, are you in there too?
I did make a mistake. Do you reckon it's too late, Colonel?
No, Chad. It's not too late. Cover me. The odds are evening up. If I can get that pistol. Mr. Penn. You all right, Mr. Penn?
Yeah, he just winged me. Did you get him?
I got him.
We did it, Colonel. We did it. Like you said, didn't even take a dozen of us.
To the people of Chuma Valley, the short but bloody fight at Carlson's homestead meant the end of oppression. To those troopers who lost their lives in the ambush, the new freedom in Chuma Valley was their offering to a country still growing. And for Colonel Randall Mackenzie, it meant the successful completion of another secret order, which, added to all the others, brought the promise of a safe frontier nearer reality. Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest, make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making.